last name was Montgolfier. And the Montgolfier brothers were, among other things, paper binders for the King's Court. And so one night they were sitting around at their house in Paris, and probably sipping the local beverages. They were good French citizens. So anyway, so they're sitting around drinking wine, and they're burning mistakes from work. Folded pages, duplicates, whatever. Misprints, you know about misprints. And so they were burning that in the fireplace. And they started watching the ash go up the chimney. Oh, that's cool. So they started folding up paper, catching some smoke in it, and sending it up the chimney. Now, one version of the story says they got so far into this that they were up on their roof folding up paper over the chimney and sending it off in the night sky. And they came to the conclusion the lift came from the smoke. So they had a little more local vintage, got a little smarter, and they went, if we capture enough smoke in a big enough bag, we might be able to get off the ground. We'd go for a flight. So the next morning they woke up, they had a bit of a headache, but they went, we can do that. But then they thought about it a little more, they started talking about it. And they went, wait a minute, how thick is air? I mean, I've been on the roof of my house. I've been standing on a tall hill. But where's the stop? Okay, so we better check that out first. They went around to all the neighbors, and they started pounding on doors, and they said, get old bed sheets, old curtains, anything they could get. Brought it home, sewed it up in kind of a ragtag envelope. Then they grabbed the paper and they cut out the coupons. With the coupons, they went down to the market, coupons runny nose, and they came back with a nice basket, a duck, a goat, and a chicken. The coupon specialists can do a lot of stuff. All right, then they were ready. So now they get out in the backyard and they grab their fabric thing, and they built a little fire in their backyard, and they started throwing anything on there that would smoke. Wet socks, old shoes, used tires, whatever they could find. All right? And it's smoking really good. They stretch the fabric out, it starts to fill up. They tie it onto the basket, and it's filled up more and filled up more. One of the brothers was hanging out real hard, and the other brother tied the farm animals into the basket, and when it's pulling really hard, they let it go. And off it went. And they jumped on their horses and chased it. Well, as it came down, they could hear the animals. So they knew, okay, air is pretty thick. They convinced air is pretty thick. So as it comes into land, of course, the basket bumps, the goat loses its balance, steps on the chicken, breaks its wing. First quack up, as they say. But anyway, so it was first flight and first crash, all in one. First crash with injuries. All right, so now they're ready to go. So they start thinking about this, and they start doing their checking account. And they go, we haven't got some funds for this deal. So off they go to get taxpayer dollars, because as you know, and I know, or ask any politician, there's an endless supply of taxpayer dollars. So they went to the king. The king was known for his very large ego. So their sales pitch was, if you fund this science project and it's successful, you will be known as the king who brought flight to mankind. Well, the king's ego was, all right. But his wise advisor said, no taxpayers are going to be risked in this deal. Can't afford to lose taxpayers. So the first passengers were to be condemned prisoners from the Bastille prison. All right, so now they got a plan. So the brothers have money. They built a beautiful big envelope about the size of this one, but it was royal French blue. It had gold bunting. It had red trim, red ribbons all around it. It was gorgeous. What was different though was they built their basket, and it was like a donut, and they had a blacksmith make a pan for the middle. So when the great day came, the king assembled everybody. There was anybody there. Benjamin Franklin was there. He was U.S. ambassador to France at the time. So they put their basket out, they put the pan in the middle, and they start building a fire, and it starts smoking, so they stretch the fabric out, and it starts standing up, and it's pulling pretty hard, and everybody's quite fascinated and cheering. And then it was time to put the prisoners in the basket. And the gentleman at the table jumped up and he said, wait a minute, this is far too great an honor to waste on condemned prisoners. I, as a member of the great French aristocracy, shall go for the first flight. His name was Pilatre de Rosier. Well, then his buddy, the Count d'Arlan, said, well, he's not going to one-up me. So they both grabbed a bottle of wine, jumped on the basket, and off they went off they flew. And everybody went, yay! And they stayed there for free food and free wine. So the guys now go out in the French countryside, and they're coming in, and the peasants are looking up there and go, wait a minute. It's in the sky, it's trailing smoke, and it's talking. It's got to be the devil. So when it landed, they attacked it with their shovels, pitchforks, scythes, whatever they had, trashed the envelope. Well, then they looked to the two guys who've been on board, but fortunately it only consumed one bottle of wine during the flight. So they grabbed the bottle of wine. They said, look, it's got the king's seal. We are French citizens. We're emissaries of the king. It literally saved their lives. It was champagne because the bottle was there. So that is how, we're clear.
Come on back, Griff.
And so that is how champagne became the toast of ballooning.
I did not know this.
Yes. So
I'm
then,
a huge champagne drinker, so this is hysterical. This
yeah,
is my
and
destiny.
so, go back. Okay. Anyway, so then, no.
Get off the street.
Yeah, then as ballooning spread across the European continent, the Irish found out about it. And they thought it was romantic. They thought it was colorful. They thought it was a great way to free drink in the morning. But they didn't want their priest to get mad, so they developed what is known as the Irish Balloonist Prayer. And the Irish Balloonist Prayer has now been adopted worldwide by sport balloonists, and it is our toast to new aeronauts. So that is our going to have a toast for you, and our toast will be the Irish Balloonist Prayer. Okay?